Okay, so today we're going to be graphing square root functions. Okay, so now I looked to see if there was a video with a trick that we could use, and there was, but it was kind of confusing, so we're going to do it the old-fashioned way by making a table. So write the equation down, or the function down that we have, make a table. This is our x values. This is the equation we're going to be working with. Equation, function, kind of the same thing. And here's our y values. Okay, so we're making a table. And the best way that I like to start this off is I like to look, and whatever's inside the radical symbol, I like to start off and make it a 0. So I want to get this inside this radical to be equal to 0. Well, something plus 3 is 0. What is that something plus 3? Okay, if you didn't know, what you could do would be to take the x plus 3, where's my cursor right there? So you can take x plus 3 and set it to 0, because I want to get a 0 in the square root. So I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides, and I get my x value is equal to -3. So in case you didn't know that -3 plus 3 is 0, you could always do it on the side and figure it out. So my x is 3. We're going to solve for my y. Well, we said x is -3, the x is -3 and it's plus 3, so our y is equal to 0, because that's what we said we wanted to get it equal to. 0 squared is 0. So that is my first order pair. Okay, I'm going to do 3 order pairs. The next one. Where is my cursor? Here it is. Okay, so the next one, I need to come up with another value for x, because I want to get 3 values for x. Okay, I like to find perfect squares, so I want to find 0, 1, 4, 9, 16. Those are all perfect square roots. So I want to find those perfect square roots. So let's see, if x is, we don't know, but plus 3, could I make this to be a 4? Could I make my x a 1 and then put 1 plus 3? What's 1 plus 3? Oh, it's 4. Well, what's the square root of 4? Is that a perfect square root? It is. It gives you 2. So my next order pair is 1, 2. And then the last one, we need to come up with one more, because I want to have at least 3 order pairs. Alright, so now, what's another perfect square? How about 9? Is 9 a perfect square? It is. Can I do something plus 3, 9? And if I cannot find my cursor, it is 6. So now I have y is equal to the square root of 6 plus 3, which is the square root of 9. What's the square root of 9? The square root of 9 is 3. So that is my y value, 3. So now my order of pairs are -3, 0. That is this one right here. And then I have 1 and 2. And 2. And then my other order pair that we found was 6 and 3. Alright, so now I'm going to take those order pairs. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Having a hard time with this cursor today. Is 6 and 3. There it is. and I'm going to take that and I'm going to graph it. And I'm just going to graph it a little cheap graph, and that's okay. And yours is going to be a cheap graph too, but it's alright. So I'm going to start with the first one. Remember, this is my x values, this is my y values. These are my x values, and this is my y values. So I'm going to go over negative 3. 1, 2, 3. That's a negative 3 here. And 0. So right there, that's my first point. Then I'm going to go over 1 and up 2. That's my second point. Then I'm going to go over 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then up 3, which is about right there. And then I've got my line, and it's not a straight line. It's kind of curved. I know it's hard with a really cheap graph to get it curved, but it's a curved line. It's not a straight line. Straight lines are linear equations, and curved lines are square roots. Okay, so that's the first one. I'm going to probably erase it and so we can do number 2. Okay, so I erased number 1, so we have some working space for number 2. Now this says f of x. What does f of x mean? It means just y. So it's going to be y is equal to square root of x minus 3. Alright, so we need to come up with a perfect square for the square root. I like to do 0. So I'm going to set this to 0. And so my first x value is going to be 3. Because y is equal to 3 minus 3, which is square root of 0, which is 0. Okay, that's my first one. Next one, I need another value of x. Well, let's say you didn't know. Another perfect square would be 1. So let's put this x minus 3. So we've got x minus 3, and let's make it equal to 1 because that's also a perfect square. So I'd add 3 to both sides, and so my x is going to be equal to 4. So if you did not know, this is a way that you can find your x values. So now we said our x is going to be 4 minus 3, which is equal to 4 minus 3 is 1, and it's still the square root of 1, which is 1. So there's another order pair. Okay, the next one. Again, I'll pretend like I don't know what my x value would be. So I'm going to go ahead and set it up as x minus 3. And let's do another perfect square. We did 0, 1. What's the next perfect square? It would be 4. So now let's go ahead and solve by adding 3 to both sides. So now my x is going to be equal to 7. So now I've got 7 here. So now y is equal to square root of 7 minus 3, which is a square root of 4, which is equal to 2. Okay, so now I've got my order pairs. I've got 3, 0, that's the red pair, 4 and 1, that's the green pair, or the blue pair, and then 7, 2, that's the green pair. Okay, so I got those here. Here's my x value. Here's my x values, and here's my y values, and I just went down here, 3 and 0, 4 and 1, 7 and 2. Take those, and we're going to graph them. And again, like I say, my graphs are kind of cheap. Your graphs will be cheap because I didn't give you graph paper. If you want to use some graph paper, you can. Okay, so here's my x and y coordinate. Again, I know it's been a while since you graphed, so this is your x and this is your y. We're going to find 3, 1, 2, 3, and 0. That's my first point. Let me change my color. And then we're going to find 4 and 1. So here's 4 and we'll call that 1. And then we're going to go 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 2. So maybe a little bit up here. And so it's going to be, again, not a straight line, but a curved line. So that's our graph of number 2. All right, let's do a couple more. Hey. Hey. Oh, hi. Sorry about that. I think I was recording when I was answering my phone. That was my daughter. Sorry about that, guys. All right, now we've got a new equation. Number 4, it says y is equal to the square root of 2x minus 8 minus 3. So inside the square root is just the 2x minus 8. Okay, again, we need to find and make this. I like to start off in making this inside the square root a 0. And if you don't know what that would be, let's go ahead and do 2x minus 8 is equal to 0. Let's start off there. We're going to add 8 to both sides. So now we have 2x is equal to 8. And divide by 2, divide by 2. We have our x is equal to 4. So let's make that our very first x. X is 4. Now let's do the math. 2 times 4 minus 8. And then we still have minus 3. So now at the inside of my square root, I have 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 8 is 0. But we still have this minus 3. So what's the square root of 0? 0. 0 minus 3 is negative 3. And that is going to be your y. Okay, let's change the color. We're going to do 3 of these, remember? Okay, now I need to figure out the next inside of my square root symbol, and I want to get perfect squares. So we use 0. 1 might work, but I think it would end up being a fraction. So let's try 4. That's the next perfect square. So if we have 2x minus 8 is equal to, well, let's do 1. Let me show you why 1 didn't work. I need to add 8 to both sides. So now I have 2x is equal to 9. But if I divide this by 2, I end up with a fraction, and we really don't like fractions. So let's not do 1 as our perfect square. Let's go ahead and try 4. We'll put 4 on this side because we want to get the inside of our square root to be square root of 4. So add 8 to both sides. So now 2x is equal to 12. Divide by 2, divide by 2. X is going to be equal to 6. Alright, that's our next one. So let's put 6 as our x. Where did my pin go? Let's put 6 as our x. Let's go ahead and work through the math. We have 2 times 6 minus 8 minus 3. So now we've got 12 minus 8 minus 3. Still under the square root. 12 minus 8 is 4 minus 3. Square root of 4 is 2 minus 3. And if we do keep, change, change, we end up with a negative 1. So my y is negative 1. Okay, so now let's write out our order pairs so far. We have, I'm going to do it down here because I'm going to have to move my tablet down a little bit. So my first order pair is 4, negative 3. My next order pair is 6, negative 1. I need one more to go. So let me move it down just a little bit. Okay, so now let's work at the side again. I don't know what it should be, but I have 4 as a perfect square. The next perfect square would be 9. Should I try 9? Let's see if it'll work. 2x minus 8 is equal to 9. If I add 8 to both sides, I'm going to get 17. That's not going to work, so let's not do 9. How about 2x minus 8 is equal to, the next one would be 16. If I add 8 to both sides, so I have 2x is equal to 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Oh, 24, that's an even number. And we're going to divide it by 2. Divide it by 2. X is going to be equal to 12. I think that one's going to work. So now let's do 12 over here. That's my x value. I'm going to extend my chart down here. Okay, let's plug it in and do the math. So we have y is equal to 2 times 12 minus 8. That's still under the radical. Minus 3. Under the radical, 2 times 12 is 24. 24 minus 8 is 16. Square root of 16 minus 3. Square root of 16 is 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. So that is our other ordered pair, which is, and I'll change to green. So we have all of our ordered pairs in the green. So we got 12, comma, 1. Alright, we're going to take those ordered pairs, and now we're going to just finish off by graphing. Okay, so we're going to make our graph the best we can do. I'll make it in blue. So we're going to get 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then negative 3. Right there. And then we're going to get 6. That's 4, 5, 6, and negative 1. And then 12, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 1 is about here. Oop, sorry. It's about there. So we've got our, and again, it's not a straight line, kind of goes like that. It doesn't go up, it goes across. So again, my graph isn't too nice, but it works. You might want to look at the textbook and kind of see how they curve like that. Alright, so that was 10-5.